mashup for my pimento cheese mashed potatoes. I'm making my grandpa's pimento cheese, and I'm using Pam Morrow's mashed potato recipe.
Going to be tickled pink.
The bomb mashed potatoes.
Y'all, years ago, Jeff made his mom's mashed potatoes, and let me tell you, I thought that my grandma made the best mashed potatoes, and she did make the best mashed potatoes. But Pam Morrow's mashed potatoes, let me tell you something, and they're make ahead, okay? Which that did not exist.
No.
So we're gonna get started first with the pimento cheese. I've already cooked the potatoes over here. Jeffrey, I've got him on, guess what? Garnish duty.
Yes.
That's right.
He's chopping up some chives and parsley for me. All right, so into the food processor. I'm using sharp cheddar cheese for this. You can use very sharp cheddar cheese, extra sharp, whatever you like. And then I'm gonna add to it some jarred pimentos.
Yep, need
So
that.
pimento cheese was my grandpa's specialty. He made the best pimento cheese. He actually would hook up an old-fashioned meat grinder to the counter and put the block of cheese in it and grind it up.
Cool.
By the way,
so good.
I know you
Mayonnaise.
feel sentimental, but pimento cheese started, didn't actually start in the South,
Where did it start?
in New York.
You
I
liar.
don't believe it. Nah,
Well,
no.
I like
added some mayonnaise.
I added mayonnaise, some pickle relish, salt and pepper, and a couple drops of your favorite hot sauce. That's optional, but I think it needs a little bit of a zing there.
Yeah, pickled relish.
All right.
Wait, so there's no cream cheese in pimento cheese,
I
no?
don't
I
do
do
cream cheese.
sometimes.
Some people do.
yeah.
Everybody's got their own.
It's regional,
I
probably.
very often like to use the processed cheese that comes in the rectangular package. I think
Nothing
that
wrong
makes
with
a
that.
good pimento cheese. All
Why
right,
no
just-
cream cheese? You don't like the tang in there?
I just don't do it. Wasn't how Grandpa did it, so it's not how I do mine.
This is amazing.
So Jeff's mom puts cream cheese in her mashed
Yeah.
potatoes. So in place of the cream cheese, I'm using the pimento cheese. So this is just my little substitution. You know, you could
love it.
probably do both. And I'm adding it to a stick of butter.
This is crazy.
And I'm
God.
gonna save some of my pimento cheese as a topper to my mashed
Katie,
potatoes.
the land of the cow salads,
Hey,
garbanzo
it's
beans.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's-
I'm gonna add some grated garlic. All right, now we're gonna go in and mash this together. Get
This
it
is
nice and mixed.
crazy. And
Make it
do we
appear-
really need to butter the 13 by 9? It's
Yeah, you don't want it to stick.
It's Thanksgiving.
I can't wait to try this.
I remember being a kid, and when it was time to mash potatoes, it was always at the very last minute. My grandma would make like 10 pounds of
Oh.
potatoes. And no matter how much she made, we still managed to eat all the mashed potatoes.
Yeah, they're like that, you know?
Yeah, all right, so this little butter pimento cheese mixture is going in. All right, now I'm gonna add in a little bit of hot half and half.
Yeah, you show restraint. I love that you're not
Half
doing
and half,
full
not heavy cream.
Could you use
Hey,
yogurt
Pam uses half and half.
or almond
That
milk?
means half and half. It's
No.
always in the fridge.
Oh,
Almond milk? What the
How
heck are you
dare
talking
you.
about? All right, and you don't want to over mix them because then you start to get that wallpaper paste thing going. But there's so much fat in here that you can kind of have at it. All right, these are looking good. So you can do this a day or two in advance. Put it in the fridge. All right, so I've buttered a 9 by 13. And now look at these. Look at that rich color
Oh,
from the
la
pimento
la.
cheese. I'm gonna put it
Blushing.
into this baking dish.
It looks like sherbet.
It kind of does, doesn't
Sherbet.
it? So now I'm gonna spread this in our casserole
So
dish.
it looks so light.
It does.
It actually does.
Looks can be
Look at how it
deceiving.
spreads. Listen, this is fun, you
All
know,
right.
because
Now
a lot of
melted
times-
butter.
you just deal with your own family recipes. We're literally going around the country and catching all these different flavors.
very
I
cool.
appreciate it.
Melted
Katie.
butter's going on to seep into those potatoes. Now I'm gonna put the rest of the cheese on top. Look at this, how beautiful that is.
Pimento is delicious.
It is.
Great.
Pickled
And it
especially,
adds a
yeah.
little pickled note to this because there is a lot of fat going on between the cheese and the mayonnaise and the
Look at that.
butter
Look
and the
at that.
half and half. So that little pickly moment
It's like a ball.
really gives you something. Okay, so you could wrap this in some aluminum foil, put it in the fridge, and then just bake it a couple days later. But we're putting it straight in, 350 degrees for 45 minutes. Here we go.
In the
I've got
bottle.
one
I just seen it.
already done.
I seen it.
I looked ahead on the test.
I did. I'm so sorry.
Oh boy.
Be careful.
Girl.
Oh, man.
That's
How
beautiful.
about it? How about it? Fromage potatoes.
Thank God for
Okay,
a little
yeah.
fresh herb
Yeah,
on top of this.
little fresh herb. God
Talk
is good,
about
God
irony.
is great. Past them taters, it's getting late. All right, now we're gonna add the chives.
Gotta have chives. I mean, they make it.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
It's almost like twice baked potato. Twice
Yeah.
baked potato. I'm getting
She
real
getting
into
real
my
good.
West
They-
Virginia.
they-
West Virginia
Oh
on us.
my gosh, guys. Okay.
Isn't it like that though when you go home to visit? You
Yes.
come back with your accent again a little bit.
Oh,
Yes.
always.
Oh,
my
I've lived in New York for 19 years. I think my accent's only gotten thicker.
Oh my
Not as thick as these
God.
potatoes.
Trust. if you weren't
Not as
watching,
thick as you'll feel after eating
this
them.
whole thing would be in my mouth. Just one
No, it's
big.
too hot. You know it's too hot.
Is it hot?
Thermal capacity of
It
this
is a little hot.
outrageous.
Okay.
Ain't much there.
Jeff, you have to try it and tell me what
All I
Pam
can say
would
is
think.
it's with
that
this top.
with the gravy that you make.
Oh, no.
What do we think?
I think it's
Katie.
excellent.
I was a believer from the jump. Pimiento cheese is my alley, man. I love it. And you add cheese to anything, it just ups the ante. But you didn't just add any cheese, you added fortified cheese, okay? And that's what pimento cheese is. It comes with lots of flavor. I even taste that. It was a little bit of garlic for such a big casserole, but it's talking to me.
Oh, wow.
This is delicious. I love a recipe that you like so much you want to go home and play with it, which is exactly what you did with his mom's mashed potatoes, your papa's pimento cheese. Wonder Twins activate. It's so good. Can I say this in my southern accent, honey?
Please, please.
I'll never tell you bless your heart.
I'm making mashed potatoes for the lamb. All right, so I've got some Yukon Gold potatoes. All right, a little bit of hot cream and butter mixed together. Right. And I basically kind of put them through a ricer. You want to grab that piece of that machine back there? Rices are really cool. I like having these things around because they make beautiful, well, they don't make a mess, they make beautiful lump-free mashed potatoes and really, really nice and creamy. They're perfect, actually.
They really are.
Do you have one of those?
No.
You can
never
have
seen
that.
it.
You can have that one.
Sweet.
Yeah. You get prizes on the show,
Okay,
right?
see?
That looks pretty good. Okay, and then I'm seasoning salt, pepper, and I think a little bit of chive will be really nice with that too. It'll go with the lamb. Okay, pepper mill, it's for you.
Sweet.
Sorry.
All right.
All right, cool, perfect. All right, a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm gonna mince up some chive. Okay, I'll slide this stuff over. It's cool. And you guys see this lamb. Can you smell the
I
lamb?
can really smell it. I'm excited.
It's awesome.
I'm not sharing.
You got a big appetite, girl. All right, so I think some fresh chive now adds a little bit
Okay.
of color, right? Also kind of nice little oniony bite and good flavor.
Did you peel the potatoes?
I did peel the potatoes. I peeled the potatoes and simmer them in a little bit of water. And when I make mashed potatoes, I always start off with cold water
Really?
when I bring them up. Yeah, because they kind of cook evenly, slowly and consistent all the way through. Always start your potatoes off in cold water, and they get really nice. Because sometimes when you make mashed potatoes, some are overcooked, right? Some are undercooked, whatever. That's how you prevent lumps. Start off with cold water, a little bit of salt, and they're awesome.
Good to know.
Exactly right. So stir us together. Do you like mashed potatoes?
I love mashed potatoes.
Taste these.
Can I do
You
that?
forget- How was that? That was good, huh?
Those are way good.
Really, really good.
And that's my cheesy potatoes. I've sliced 3 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. Now, if you don't want to slice them yourself and you want them like paper thin, use a mandolin. So I'm going to layer this skillet, my cast iron skillet, that I have buttered, greased up, got it nice and oiled. I want to take a few of my sliced potatoes and put them at the bottom. Added about half of my sliced potatoes. I want to add a little salt to the potatoes as well because potatoes are so bland that you need a little salt to enhance the flavor. So I've added some salt to my sliced potatoes. I'm adding my cheeses. I have some Fontina cheese. I got some Gruyere and some white cheddar. You can use whatever cheese that you want that's nice and melty. I'm gonna add the rest of my potatoes. This skillet potatoes is one of my favorite side dishes. The cheesy potatoes just go really well with a nice juicy steak. That or even like baked chicken, like I made earlier. I want to add my final layer of cheese. And I want to top it off with a little chives. Now this is not it, guys. I want to make a cream sauce to pour on top. So when I put this in the oven, it's going to get nice and bubbly and creamy and cheesy and delicious. All right, I'm going to head over here to my stove and I'm going to make the cream sauce. I'm going to pour this cream sauce on top of all of this. To my sauce pot, I'm going to add some minced garlic. 2 cups of heavy cream, and I'm gonna grate in some nutmeg. And Now, I like adding fresh nutmeg to cream sauces because it adds a little spice to it. A little freshly grated nutmeg goes a long way. And I'm gonna season my cream sauce with a little salt and pepper. All right, I'm just gonna heat this until it gets nice and warm, just kind of like a rolling boil, and see some bubbles on the side and the edges. And not only is this a great side, it's also a great dish to add to your Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter spread, whatever holiday you celebrate, because it's just gonna go well with anything that you pair it with. And I think, I mean, who doesn't love cheese and potatoes? The bubbles have formed around the edges, so I know it's nice and warm. Take it off the heat and add in my sour cream. Now I'm gonna take my cream mixture and pour it on top of my potatoes, shredded cheese. And once this starts to really get going and it starts to bake, all of the cheese and all of the potatoes are gonna get cooked, and it's just gonna start to bubble, and oh my gosh, I am really excited about this. All right, now I'm gonna cover my cast iron. I'm gonna let that bake for 45 minutes at 375. After 45 minutes, I'm gonna take the foil off and let it continue to cook and get nice and brown on top. My cheesy skillet potatoes are done, and it smells amazing in here. I wanna turn the heat down to 350 because I need to bake some brownies. All right, hoo, baby. Oh, baby, look at this. Oh, honey, look at that. Look how gorgeous and bubbly and buttery this looks, all in this beautiful skillet. I gotta try this. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll be, oh my gosh. The potatoes are like literally melting in my mouth. Those three cheeses combined, they're nutty, it's creamy, salty, but not too salty. And the chives, oh my gosh. This is one of those things, like, I promise you it will go well with any entree. You talk about chicken, we talk about red meat, and a good piece of steak.
For a whimsical side to our Thanksgiving table, I'm making my tahini cinnamon sweet potatoes with toasted meringue. They're rich and indulgent and nicely balanced because the tahini helps cut all the sweetness. To start, I've got 5 roasted sweet potatoes, and I'm gonna scoop out all of the flesh. So I'm basically making twice baked sweet potatoes, which I'm really excited about because when you give them that second bake, they get some nice crispy edges and a lot more textural excitement than the typical sweet potato casserole, which is sometimes just too mush on mush for me. No offense, sweet potato casserole. So I'm using the flesh from all 10 of the sweet potato halves, but I'm only actually gonna build 8, and that's just so I have enough filling to make it look mounded and bountiful, so I can snack on the skin of the other 2. Okay, got my boats here. I'm gonna season them with salt and pepper, just so that there's ample seasoning all throughout. Potatoes do love their salt. Now into my filling, I'll pour in some tahini, which is a smooth sesame paste. And tahini fits in so seamlessly with the flavor profiles of Thanksgiving, namely cinnamon and sweet potatoes. A few tablespoons of maple syrup. Not too much, but just enough to give it life. 2 tablespoons of softened butter. Some kosher salt. And cinnamon and ginger. And I'll mash this up. I love how simple all these flavors are. When they come together, they make some major magic. Okay, I would really like to taste this filling. Yeah. It's sweet and nutty and really creamy. Wow, I could eat that whole bowl, but I'm not. I have to fill up my sweet potato boats. So I'll just pile on some of the filling. These will be nice individual servings. I'm just looking for a nice, voluptuous mound. Just like that. So I'll keep on filling these, and then I'm gonna stick them back in the oven at 425 for 10 to 15 minutes. And while they get golden and crisp, I'll make my meringue topping. This is basically a quick version of marshmallow cream. It's gonna be sweet and cloud-like on top of the sweet potatoes. I'm starting with 2 large pasteurized egg whites, and I'll beat these up and allow them to get foamy. And sprinkle in a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, which will help stabilize the egg whites. I'll drizzle in 1/3 cup of light corn syrup and 1/3 cup of powdered sugar, a good pinch of salt, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm gonna continue to beat this until the mixture reaches stiff peaks. This is looking good. So fluffy. Oh yeah, that's a stiff peak. I'll scoop this into my piping bag, fit it with a round tip. Okay, my meringue's ready. Let me check on my potatoes. Oh, they smell so sweet and cinnamony, and I am loving the color that they've gotten. They're gonna have some nice crispy bits. Okay, I'll take my meringue and just pipe it on, and I'm gonna do a fun squiggle. When else can you put a pile of marshmallow on your plate and call it dinner? It looks like a cartoon potato. I'll just keep on piping. Now, if that wasn't satisfying enough, I'm gonna torch them. Dun, da, da, da. If you don't have a propane torch, you could definitely broil these, but using these guys allows you to see the browning in real time. Is that what ASMR is? I don't know. Here I go. Oh, that's a good one. Smells like s'mores. I mean, those are some supermodel sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato onion gratin. I peeled the sweet potatoes, real fun task. I'm cutting them, don't worry about that one, you gotta offer one up. Take the ends off, try to get uniform size. We'll hit them with a little bit of salt, pepper, and olive oil and go to the grill. Started it with charcoal, got some nice oak on there. There we go. Okay, so those are all done. Let me grab a sheet tray. Slide them onto a sheet tray. We hit a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then we'll talk about what's gonna ride shotgun on this gratin dish. How about, exactly, some sweet onions, Vidalia onions to be exact. So grab a couple Vidalia. There we go. Some olive oil drizzle, fresh cracked black pepper, and some salt. Okay, we move this around. We'll go down with the onions here. Having that type of grill where you can take small onions or potatoes that would normally fall through the grates and where you can get that radiant heat and you can get some of that smoke flavor coming through just takes a regular gratin to the next level. So now we're gonna make the half and half mixture that we're gonna pour over this gratin. So we're gonna kind of partially cook the potatoes here. Not all the way, they're still gonna have to go in the oven. But what we're gonna do, we'll get a couple cups of half and half in there. You know what makes my mouth water also? Horseradish. Talk about bringing up the flavor. I don't know, 4 tablespoons in here. I don't think you could do too much in this. And there we go. Awesome. Now we'll get a little bit of thyme in there. They can just fall right in. They're gonna steep a little bit in this half and half. Okay. There, little S&P. This is sweet potatoes that have gone savory. The thyme in the half and half, the horseradish, just all those components, it's the perfect storm. Make sure that I'm doing okay here on my sweet potatoes. There we go. It's all right that they got a little char on them. That's what we're looking for. That adds to all that depth of flavor. And let's check those onions. Perfect where I want the onions. Harvest these off. I got some Vidalia onions, and I'm looking for that. I want that color. I don't want boring gratin that just kind of looks like it's just, you know, it's just been sitting there simmering in milk. Okay, we'll bring that off. So the gratin was 3 layers. I layered it with the Gruyere. Then you put the sweet potato, and then you put the caramelized onions, and then you repeat that 3 times. perfect. And then you put some more of the cheese on top. This is where it all comes together, is we pour this right on top. Horseradish, thyme. You see that horseradish coming out right there? Kind of move that around a little bit. Get that horseradish spread out. That's just gonna soak right down into it. Fantastic. Now, we'll do that. Throw some foil on it. The wood-fired oven's rocking right around, I don't know, 350, maybe 400. 350 is what we're looking for, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. And we'll let this go for about 30 minutes. I put it on the sheet tray just in case we get a little bit of a bubble over. I don't want it burning the deck of the oven. It definitely changes the flavor of pizza. But if you have a regular conventional oven, 350, do the tray idea. It'll save you from having to do the cleanup, okay? In we go. It's gonna be hot. But look at that, bubbling madness. Sweet potatoes done in this real savory style. No brown sugar marshmallows on this. Are you kidding me? Oh, that is outrageous. Okay, so now what I need to do, slide it back in, let it brown on top a little bit. Does that look dynamite or what? We are talking sweet potato gratin with some caramelized Vidalia onions, but the kicker here, baby, is half and half with a little bit of fresh horseradish in there and some thyme. These are going to be, well, let me get a plate and show you how outrageous they're gonna be. Now I've got some beautiful tomahawk chops, some pork chops, pounding them out. Hit them with a little bit of panko breading, but look at this. Gruyere cheese, sweet potatoes, and the gratin over here. We got the Gruyere cheese, we got the sweet potatoes, we got the Vidalia onion. You understand what that meant? That's my kind of sweet potato.
I am making scalloped potatoes. They're gonna be cheesy and creamy. To start, I'm thinly slicing 2 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes, and I'm slicing about 1/8 to 1/4 inch slices. All my potatoes are sliced. I'll set these aside and then make my creamy, cheesy sauce. I've got my skillet heated here. I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons of butter, and I'm gonna let this melt. I'll add 3 tablespoons of flour, and that's gonna combine with the butter to create a roux, and that's gonna thicken the milk to create that rich sauce. I'll whisk the flour into the butter and let it cook for about a minute so that the flour flavor can dissipate. Now I've got 1.5 cups of whole milk here, and I'm gonna add it really gradually, whisking continuously to allow it to combine and thicken.
And I wanna whisk it constantly to ensure the smoothest, velvetiest texture. That's looking good.
So I know this is thick enough when it coats the back of a spoon.
Oh yeah, look how beautiful that is.
Just like that.
I'm gonna season it with salt and pepper.
And then I'm gonna get some nutmeg. Just a little bit of freshly grated nutmeg adds a perfect hit of warmth. I'm gonna grate in about 1/4 teaspoon. I've got Gruyere and ham. Gruyere cheese is funky and fancy.
I'm gonna add a couple ounces of this to the sauce and let it melt.
It smells so good. And potatoes are so mild, they're like a canvas for the cheese. So they need some strong flavors encasing them. I'm ready to assemble. I've got my cast iron skillet, and I've coated on the inside with some butter, and I'm gonna add a layer of potatoes.
And I'm not gonna get too fancy or fussy with this. It's just gonna be a rustic layer.
These are gonna melt together when they bake and soak up this cheese sauce. And then I'm gonna season them with a good pinch of salt. I'll top with half of my cream sauce. It's just gonna soak right in those layers. Let me spread it around to make sure all the potatoes are coated. And next, all of the ham. Sometimes I think that because there's ham in this, it can be a full meal, just this. But then my conscience kicks in.
Some chives for flavor and color.
And then the rest of my potatoes, and I'm just spreading them all the way to the edge. This is a great dish to make in advance and bring to a party. It's a crowd pleaser. Everybody always loves the scalloped potatoes, as long as they're salty enough.
I finished with the rest of my cream sauce, a sprinkling of that funky Gruyere, and some more chopped chives.
Oh, it's so pretty. I could just eat this whole pan. Beautiful. I'll cover this. And now this is gonna bake at 350 degrees for about an hour, and I'm gonna take the foil off for the last 20 minutes so that I can get golden brown and crispy on top. I am ready for this. Oh, yeah. That is a beautiful potato situation. Look at how golden it is, and it's so melty. I'm gonna taste it. Oh, it's so creamy. It is so flavorful and comforting.
I'm making a slow cooker sweet potato version. It's really gonna elevate the flavors. I've just been cutting up some peeled sweet potatoes into big chunks, and I'm gonna coat them in cornstarch. I'm cooking these in the slow cooker in a little bit of a liquid, and the cornstarch will help the sweet potato sauce really thicken as they cook. Adding about 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. And I'm gonna toss the potatoes in the cornstarch until they're all coated. Okay, those are all tossed. So I'm gonna pour these right in. Now I'll add 4 tablespoons of butter and kind of scatter it around. This is such an easy way to make sweet potatoes. I'm gonna add a cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and you know me, I've got to add a little cayenne pepper, and then a splash of vanilla, and then I squeeze the juice out of an orange. Oh, the combination of flavors is amazing. And then just a little bit of water, about 1/4 cup, and that just helps the sauce become a little more saucy. Some salt. Okay, now the lid goes on, and I'm gonna cook this for 3 hours on low, and I'll stir it from time to time. Can't believe it, my work here is done. To serve up, I took a pretty platter, tipped out the sweet potatoes, sprinkled over chopped toasted walnuts, and chopped parsley.
Bobby and I are co-hosting Thanksgiving dinner next week, and to leave nothing to chance, Bobby always does, but I don't. We're road testing all the recipes in advance, so including Bobby's 11-layer potato gratin.
Yes.
Do you actually count the layers?
Let's put it this way. The number 11 is basically the way I measure. It's kind of 11.
It's a figure of speech.
It just gives you like a sense of what it's going to look like.
Okay,
Lots
great.
of layers of potatoes, and the great thing about this is that it's really less than a handful of ingredients. It's Idaho potatoes that have been peeled and sliced very thinly on a mandolin.
And I love that you're drying them.
And I'm drying them, right?
Yeah.
Get a little starch out. And then some heavy cream, some salt and pepper.
Oh, we can do
That's it.
this. That's
Exactly
it? Oh,
right.
fabulous.
So
how do you make this?
So basically, you put 1 layer of potatoes down, and I'm going to ask you to take the cream and just
pour it on?
Pour some cream on
Wow.
top. Exactly.
This isn't even cooking.
No, exactly.
This is great. This is layering.
Pour a little
just
cream.
You tell me how much.
Just to kind of cover the potatoes. Exactly
okay,
right.
just to wet it. Okay.
And then
Nice thing is this is all in advance too, right? This is our theme. Make in advance.
that's perfect.
Is that perfect?
Yep.
Okay.
And then a little salt and pepper.
Okay.
On every layer.
Oh,
okay?
yeah, so
and this
it really
is something
gets flavor.
that you're really great at, which is
So
making sure that you
important.
season every layer of everything
In the
you do.
middle, a lot of things are seasoned at the end, and all it just sits on the outside.
Exactly right. So that's layer 1.
Yeah, layer 1.
So you just keep basically
Sort of layer 1.
So basically, it can be 6 layers, it can be 15 layers. You want to go almost to the top of whatever your casserole dish
Yeah,
is. And then what happens is, after we get this done, we put it in the oven covered so that the potatoes actually cook.
They
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't dry out.
It doesn't
That's a
dry
good
out,
idea.
but eventually we want the cream to become part of the potatoes and reduce. Beautiful job.
So what's going on here with the shallots?
Yeah, so the shallots,
I think I have to stir these.
shallots and butter and a pinch of sugar and a little salt and pepper, and we're just gonna caramelize the shallots. And when the gratin is done, we're gonna put the shallots and some fried sage on top.
Ooh, that
kind of
sounds
bring in
great.
some of those
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving flavors,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay,
so
more salt?
Yeah, a little more salt and
pepper?
pepper, and basically
Okay.
that's it. And if I just give it the test here, you see,
I know.
you kind of push it down, and you can see the cream coming like sort of.
And that's
onto
when
the
you know
sides.
it's right?
That's when you know it's right. And now we can actually put this in the oven.
Okay.
We're gonna cover it for the first 30 minutes, 375 degrees, just with some tin foil. And this will actually help the potatoes cook, get nice and soft.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then after 30 minutes, we'll take the cover off, and we'll get that nice gratin look
That sounds good.
and feel. All right.
And look how gorgeous that is. It's just, that's it. It's just potatoes and cream, salt,
and pepper, and that's it. And it gets that sort of gratin
that gratin
look.
thing. Yeah.
So now what we can do is take some of our shallots, our caramelized shallots. Those are just a little bit of sugar and some butter, and just
so
cook
a little
down
crispy and sweet and caramelized.
very slowly for about 30 minutes.
You have the dump and stir method,
Exactly.
right?
Just get them out there.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And listen, you know, to me, I always say like everything good starts with onions and garlic. It's like,
it
you know,
really is.
you know, shallots are just so incredibly savory, especially when you caramelize them like this.
I mean, like, how gorgeous is this?
It just brings it brings an amazing dimension to it.
And then fried sage on
just
top?
some fried sage on top.
I don't know, might not make the table.
I know.
I mean, there's heavy competition here.
Well, if this doesn't make the table, I'm taking this home.
Okay, it made the table. I don't even have to taste it. That's just gorgeous.
And don't forget, the sage is really strong, right?
Okay.
So, you know, we want to caution people just to kind of use a little bit of it, because you don't want it to take over the flavor.
Sage is actually one of the strongest. That and oregano, fresh oregano. So do we get to taste this?
Yes, let's taste it.
Wow, how gorgeous. Gentlemen, start your spoons.
There you go.
The shallots are crispy. The potatoes are perfectly cooked. You don't really taste the cream, but it's all part of it.
Oh, it's definitely in
And
there.
It's not that this is going to be on the table. It's going to be the first thing on the table.
All right.
That is so good. In my experience, if you don't make mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving, somebody's going to complain. So I'm going to show you my classic mashed potatoes and 3 variations just to turn up the volume. So the potatoes are cooked. Test them with a knife, make sure they're perfectly cooked. And they are. So I'm just going to drain them. Ooh, nice steam bath. Okay, at this point, basically most people would use a potato masher or a food mill, but I'm going to do them in an electric mixer, and they come out really creamy and chunky at the same time. So good. I'll put them in the bowl of an electric mixer, turn it on low speed for a few seconds just to break them up. Then slowly add a hot mixture of 1 cup of whole milk and 6 tablespoons of melted butter. This makes the potatoes really creamy. Then I'll add a half a cup of sour cream, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Give it a final mix and the potatoes are done. So once you've nailed the classic recipe for mashed potatoes, you can use it for all kinds of incredible variations. Let me tell you about some of mine. Idea 1. Add 3 ounces of room temperature white truffle butter to the mashed potatoes. Mix it in, and classic mashed potatoes become truffle mashed potatoes. It's so luxurious. Idea 2. Add half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, and you have Parmesan mashed potatoes, spicy and delicious. Idea 3. Into a pan, just add half a cup of garlic cloves to half a cup of olive oil. Bring it to a boil. Lower the heat and simmer it for 20 minutes until the garlic is soft and just lightly browned. Then turn off the heat and let it cool. After 20 minutes, add the tender garlic cloves to the mashed potatoes, along with 3 tablespoons of the garlic oil. Mix them in, and wow, really garlicky mashed potatoes. That's 3 variations that everyone will love. But don't forget the classic. It's really good, too. I just can't help myself. I have to try it. It is. It's creamy and chunky. You can really taste a little sour cream. So good.
The guys are having a big morning of working cattle over on Tim's Ranch today, and I'm making them a rib-stickin' ranch-style lunch. They are gonna be hungry when they're finished. To go with the ribs, I'm making twice-baked potato casserole. It's pretty much everything that's wonderful about twice-baked potatoes, but in casserole form. Now, of course, twice-baked potatoes in any form have to have bacon, so I fried up a bunch, and I just need to chop it up. You know, you can use store-bought bacon bits for twice-baked potatoes, but I think nothing is like bacon you fry yourself, particularly when you're cooking for cowboys. They detect things like this. They might run me out of town if they find out I used artificial bacon pieces. Okay, I got the bacon all chopped. I'll let that sit for a sec. Now I've got to add a lot of butter to this casserole because I baked a lot of potatoes. So I've got 4 sticks of softened butter. I want it to be really, really soft. Then when the warm potato mixture goes in, it melts really quickly. Okay, and 4. Then a whole container of sour cream. Everyone likes sour cream with potatoes, let's face it. Okay, now for the potatoes. I've got 16 big baking potatoes, and I rubbed them in a little bit of vegetable oil and then baked them at 400 for about an hour. They're nice and tender, very hot. So I'll just cut it in half. Ooh, nice and hot. And I'll use a little towel so it won't be too hot in my hands. And I like to use just a big tablespoon to slowly scrape the insides out. Okay, that's the last potato scooped, and I've got nice little flecks of potato skin all throughout. So now I'll season all of this. It's a lot of potato, so it needs a good amount of salt, and of course, plenty of black pepper. And then I also like to add some seasoned salt. It just adds a few different flavors, a little bit of extra saltiness. All right, that looks great. Now I'll throw in all of this delicious bacon. Okay, now the green onions go in. I also grated a lot of cheese, a couple of cups of cheddar jack, and I'll sprinkle that over the top. And then I definitely need some milk in here so that everything will mix together well. So I'll just pour in a couple of cups of milk. All right, now I just need to break out my muscles. I've got a potato masher, and I'll just go right in and smush all this together. This takes a little while. There are a lot of ingredients in here. The potatoes don't have to be completely smooth, but I don't want there to be any huge chunks. Okay, looks perfect. Get the extra off. Now I'm gonna put all of this into a big foil container. I think it'll all fit. Whenever I'm making twice-baked potatoes for a crowd, it can get a little much to refill the skins after the mixture is done. This is the perfect solution. Just put it into a big pan, warm it up, and it's ready to serve. This looks amazing. There is not a cowboy on the ranch or a kid on the ranch that won't go crazy for this. Okay, now I'll just smooth out the surface. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is a great dish to make if you're having a big party because you can actually make it the day ahead and pop it in the oven when you're ready. I wasn't that organized. I did it the same day. Okay, now I'm gonna sprinkle more cheese over the top. The potato mixture has plenty inside, but I like for the top to have a nice layer of melted cheese. This is cheddar jack, but you can use all cheddar, all jack, or you could do pepper jack. That's always delicious too. Okay, now this just needs to go back into the oven for about 30 minutes until it's warmed through. Cheesy, twice-baked potato casserole. Here are the ribs. Did you guys work up an appetite?
I think everybody did.
Todd, you want some potatoes? What's up? And get the good stuff.